Hey everyone, welcome to Time for Anything. I'm Derek,
I'm James.
And I'm Phil.
and this is Time for Anything.
Time for anything.
It's us.
Yeah.
So,
Just three dudes in a room.
yeah,
That's my favorite way to phrase it because it just sounds so silly.
it's quite literal,
yeah. Just trying to talk about stuff.
very straightforward,
Yeah.
to the point.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we are deciding to do a new format to our podcasts. We think that it's going to make listening to the podcast a lot more enjoyable for you guys and probably more enjoyable for us to record in the long run.
I would like to think, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be like the first time we're doing this. You know, it's going to be new. Anytime you're doing something new, it's always kind of going against the grain of the patterns in your mind that you're used to.
Exactly.
So, thank you for bearing with us. Thank you for joining us. We're going to start our first segment. It's just kind of general, how's it going? What's happening?
Sort of like an anything goes, more of
short.
like a time for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's about you. It's about us. It's about anything.
Anything that
Really.
helps you live better.
So we kind of messed up our first recording. We were talking about the Iron Dome, the whole Palestine-Israel thing.
Yeah.
It's obviously a topic that will definitely need more time explaining and talking about. Even I know so little.
It's also a very political topic, which is something we tend to avoid.
We try to avoid it. It's obviously...
But there's also a point
tough.
where politics should take a backseat and recognize the injustices, the disregard for human life. Some would say that that's a political stance in itself.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go.
I don't think it's a political stance to say that children and the innocent don't deserve to die.
Right, exactly.
And that is happening right now.
Although
in
some
Israel.
would say that is a political stance.
Yeah.
Seeing how every
which
U.S.
is
president
unfortunate.
has bombed the shit out of the Middle East, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so
It's
true.
pretty crazy.
It's just ridiculous how there's
Yeah.
just people still on the same planet. We're just
hypocrites.
fighting each other.
yeah, it's always going to happen.
It's just insane how in the 40s people were constantly like, well, we're just going to get bombed from Japan yep, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
That's how they thought. It's
I
terrifying.
mean, in Britain, they were literally being bombed by
Yeah.
Germany.
Yes.
And Germany was being bombed back, but
Yep.
most of the world was being bombed.
Yeah.
It's still kind of...
We were...
It helps put things into perspective and realize that, hey, at least you're not afraid of being bombed right now. I mean, unless you're...
Sort of.
Sort
Some
of.
people can't sleep at night because
Like over
there's
there,
No, even here. Because
Oh.
there's the constant threat of nuclear destruction.
I guess that's technically true. Yeah. I never really think about it.
Yeah, I had a college professor. He actually taught, he taught a few of my classes, one of them being Middle Eastern politics. The final paper was about how to solve the Israel-Palestine conflict. That was not a good paper. It's very difficult.
Who was going to have a good paper there?
Yeah, but he was, I think it was in our contemporary global issues class. He was like, I can't sleep at night because it's just looming, this nuclear destruction.
It's terrifying.
He was also kind of, how to describe it without offending any particular group of people.
like
It was
maybe-
weird.
I think...
He's a weird dude.
Just very anxious about
Even
it.
if you know a lot about something, though, right? Like, he was probably a good professor, nonetheless. No? Okay, never mind.
I mean,
We didn't know his
he
stuff.
was intelligent. He just, yeah.
But you get fanatical. Maybe you like it too much. Maybe it takes you to a place that
Like a little off the deep end
hurts
kind of.
you
He was very
mentally.
cynical,
Oh.
which
Yeah.
isn't what you like to see. in a
Negative
professor.
energy.
Yeah.
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 I mean, there's a whole pathology to it. It's like, I don't know. People just aren't so cut and dry, and I think that's what amazes me about people. I think that's what scares me the most about people, is that we are truly dynamic and it's powerful, but it also hurts us in so many ways, and we hurt ourselves in so many ways. For some reason, humans can be very self-deprecating,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we just try and spread some positivity. And I implore our audience, whoever's listening to this, just, try and make someone's day. Someone new.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you probably make someone's day already, and it's good to have those loved ones, but, like, really impress someone else.
Yeah, just a stranger. Like when you
You could do that.
Help an old lady load groceries into her car.
Yeah.
I mean, it's difficult now with the pandemic. People don't want to get too close to each
Yeah,
other.
Mhm.
it's
I
weird
think that's
times for
kind
that.
of subsiding with the whole vaccination
My friend,
rollout, but
my friend John, I guess shout out to episode 12. Anything goes to Cape and John. He said to me yesterday. He said like, be present when you say thank you to someone, and I liked how he phrased that. It's like be present. Like don't just say thank you like out of habit. It's when you say thank you to someone, like be there when you say it. Be aware of what you're saying to that person. Being kind, it goes a long way, and people notice.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference between a genuine thank you, and which I will say I genuinely say thank you even if it's just like the polite thing to do.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because-
but at least you mean it.
I mean it, but
Yeah.
then there's like kind of a sincere thank you
Mm-hmm.
that takes on a totally different sort of emotion.
Yeah, I can understand
But yeah, if you're not even comfortable with a stranger, I would say just maybe like a friend that you haven't reached out to in a while, just reach out to them, or just kind of just find a way to like make a difference for someone's life for a day.
Yeah,
Be
I think
good.
people want to know how
Feels
they
good.
can change the world and help the world. But if everyone realized that they can do that through small things and small steps, they don't need to do something like solve world hunger. They can be nice to people. And if everyone would be more focused on promoting success within their own friend groups and families and communities, the whole world would change for the better.
The
So-
bottom line of it is just spreading love.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. That makes a lot of sense.
Through actions.
Yes.
Yeah, that actually, yeah.
And also kind of focus in on the little things that people may do to kind of spread love, because I think there are degrees of it that you can find, like, I don't know, maybe like your friend gets drinks or something, or like brings some snacks or does whatever, just like little things that
Tell your mom you love her. Something,
or just
Yeah.
just like little things that you would do
Give
kind
her a
of
hug,
on a daily basis, but like focus on the intent, I guess, and really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah. Definitely.
What else is going on? I mean, gas shortage. I don't know if
Dang.
that'll be like a future thing. We always got to focus about that, like
Yeah, who knows what's up
the
with
fact
that.
that it's being released a month later.
I
But
feel like the gas shortage, though, in a month will be in full swing.
oh,
Because
So we're
This
here.
is May. This is middle of May
Yeah.
right now.
we're here
Right.
now. It's summertime. Everyone wants to go places.
yeah,
Nobody
in
can
summer
go places.
you always have high gas prices because everybody's filling up on gas all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They're out and about. So then on top of a gas shortage, it's going to be I wouldn't be surprised if
Humans have
It's just going to be
impeccable
toilet
timing.
paper all over again.
toilet paper
Oh,
wasn't
that wasn't even that bad.
Well, in some places it was.
Yeah.
We are not in a very populated, dense area
No.
compared to some
Yeah.
people.
It's true.
Like I can imagine
Yeah.
people in places like New York and
Oh,
Philadelphia
in Philly,
had a
yeah.
hard time.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't really get it that bad. Like I had toilet paper when I needed it. I never ran out.
There's also the internet
Yeah.
for
But Amazon, you
Skeletons
couldn't even
and
order anything without it taking like 2 weeks. At
that's
one
true.
point,
Yeah.
in the middle of COVID, that was insane. That was really rough. But
You hear that Jeff Bezos is selling a bunch of stock, Amazon again.
okay,
Yeah.
he's just getting richer and richer.
Yeah, I kind of think that he's going to sell it, kind of tank Amazon's dollar price a little bit, and then buy it up again
Oh my god.
to essentially split his shares, but without splitting.
Oh my goodness. This is how, that in a nutshell, if you didn't know this already, is how millionaires, billionaires just get richer without even trying. And you see a lot on crypto right now, like, like Elon Musk does it, yeah.
Elon Musk does.
Yeah, he's intentionally
Yeah.
dropping Bitcoin.
Wow.
Yeah, wait. He actually
Wow.
said something today. I have to pull it up.
Yeah.
did a thing. His thing was, yeah, it was Nano. He's fucking with Nano now.
What is that?
It's a cryptocurrency.
Oh, okay.
That's
interesting.
Yeah. Musk today said that Bitcoin. I guess he just talked about the power of Bitcoin, saying that he no longer supports Bitcoin, essentially. From what I understand, I could be wrong about this, but that's I think.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin itself, I think, is starting to drop.
Oh.
Whereas other
like
coins,
Dogecoin, Ethereum.
Yeah, Nano.
Okay.
Other coins are starting to rise because they're like, oh well, Bitcoin, like let's jump ship and go somewhere else. That also might not be exactly what's happening.
Huh.
I have a very limited understanding what happened today with that. But maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Bitcoin's really expensive right now.
Huh.
Right. Maybe it should be a little bit cheaper.
It's just crazy to me that like mega rich people can split markets that just to like you're talking like dropping a stock price. Like you're so rich that when you sell your shares, the stock actually drops.
You ever seen Fun with Dick and Jane? It's an old Jim Carrey movie. It's really good. It's all about this company that just tanks and ruins thousands of people's lives. It's amazing. It's horrible. But it's comedy, and that makes it work. Anyway.
So this has been our first little panel here.
Yeah.
We'll probably do something lighter next time. It's okay. This is the world we live in. Okay.
Yeah, maybe we won't
just
make you listen for 12 minutes. Maybe we'll only give you 7 next time or something.
I know you want the sweet nectar, but all we got is bone-hurting juice. So.
But speaking of sweet nectar, James has some satisfying info for us, I think.
Yeah. If you're a fan of the show, and also a fan of books, we're starting a book club. So the first book that we're reading is Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut. And
Now I'm pretty sure you can find this legally for free online. I'm not 100% sure about that. If not, it's only a few bucks.
It's a pretty short book, 215 pages total, at least in my copy. So we're going to start this with reading chapters 1, 2, and 3. It's about 70 pages, give or take. And that should be read by July 15th. And then on July 15th, we'll do a similar mini segment here where we discuss the book. Mm-hmm. And then also let you know what chapters to read by what date after that. So
it's probably going to take a really long time, which gives you a long time to read the book. To get through the book is going to take us several months. So
this book is going to take us 3 episodes of this segment, which is 3 months.
Okay.
If we do this segment once a month.
Yeah.
3 months.
200 pages in 3 months.
Very easy.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be this easy, right? We're gonna get. This is just the starter book.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's also a really good book.
Gotta work our way up.
Do you want to tell us what it's about a little bit?
I can. Let me read for you
the blurb.
Give me some of that blurb.
Slaughterhouse 5, an American classic, is one of the world's great anti-war books. Centering on the infamous firebombing of Dresden, Billy Pilgrim's Odyssey through time reflects the mythic journey of our own fractured lives as we search for meaning in what we fear most. Kurt Vonnegut, if you don't know him, is a war vet. This book is sort of about his time as a prisoner of war in a slaughterhouse while the city around him was being bombed. Features aliens, time travel. Yeah, it's a great book.
That sounds awesome. I'm very excited to read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
What are
Now,
we talking about today
what's this
now?
episode about in total?
Well, if you probably read the title of the episode,
Which is probably what drew you in
but
the
it's
first
definitely
place.
what everyone did, and they're like, why are they not talking? But you already knew because I prefaced it. It's about mythological creatures,
Yeah.
and that's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah, man.
So let's get into it.
You ever heard of a cyclops?
Heck yeah.
I never read Beowulf. I don't know what a cyclops is.
What's up with that?
How about a leprechaun?
Man, I never understood. Like, so those things are just supposed to, like, show up at the end of rainbows?
No, leprechauns are very dangerous creatures.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What, do they, like, kill you or
They're
something?
like swindlers.
Yeah.
Oh
They'll kill you too.
my gosh.
The Candyman.
Have you ever seen the movie The Leprechaun?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they'll get you. Oh, do you remember the Animal Planet mermaid documentary
Yes.
that
Yeah.
my dumbass totally thought the first episode was real?
Well, can we go into that for a minute? Like,
Yeah.
I remember watching that with you.
Yes.
How was that trying to be legit and was then debunked, or was it supposed to be just kind of a joke the whole time?
It wasn't real. So they were intentionally trying to confuse people. I don't know. I mean, I remember it being kind of like it was trying to convince you that it was real, basically.
What channel was that on?
Animal Planet,
Animal
too.
Planet.
Which is
See, that's what's
crazy.
really weird.
Wow.
Like, why would you do that? Like,
I
if
know.
you're
I
the
could see-
authority on animals.
Yeah, I could see like the History Channel putting something like that up. But
Anything
Animal
but
Planet-
History Channel.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. I thought mermaids were real. They're not. I mean, if...
I would be okay with saying that
could
there
be.
is a... There were, maybe they were hunted to death, I don't know. Like, humanoid-ish type looking fish people, but, like, not even actually humanoid. Like
Like a dolphin.
if you
think
gave a
dolphins,
dolphin
yeah.
some, like,
Is,
weird
yeah.
arms.
That'd be the dolphins.
Like, a dolphin with weird arms and, like, a rounder head. Like,
I
something
think-
just really disgustingly creepy.
I think it's much, much, much more likely that mermaids came from sailors.
Just folklore.
Sailors
Essentially.
seeing seals on rocks and
Yeah.
then saying, with their dysentery and delusional minds, saying, "Oh
And probably
wow,
scurvy.
some hot women."
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous.
Maybe they actually thought they were attractive,
Yeah, I don't really
and
know.
then when they got back to the bar with all their sailor buddies, they were like, "Oh yeah, having sex with some mermaids." And the sailors were like, "What's a mermaid?" And then the guy was like, "Oh, it's, like kind of a fish."
Yeah, but like
And
they
they're
look like
like-
women, kind of.
They were like, "You have sex with fishes?" And the guy was like, No, it's half human. Yeah. Just
Yeah, but the
same as it
top
has."
part is human.
Yeah. Even though it's definitely not.
Wow. Okay.
It would have to be the bottom half human.
Yeah.
Because, like, it just anatomically makes no sense. I would sooner be like, yeah, aliens are real, which, like, low-key kind of are real.
No, especially with all the stuff that's out there. Wait,
Especially
can I,
recently?
Can I speak on that? Because honestly, to me, aliens are in a way mythological creatures. At
Yes,
this
They
point.
are.
They are.
Okay, so, man, all right, I'm not gonna like go psycho on this, but you ever seen the episode of Always Sunny when Charlie's working in the mailroom smoking cigarettes like crazy, and he's got the pinboard up and he's like pointing to stuff. And
Yeah.
he's like making connections that aren't there. I think nowadays you do that with all this UFO evidence and you start pinning connections and people go, that guy's being a conspiracy theorist. He's making evidence work together. But I'm like, no, it actually all works together. It makes sense. I kind of think.
Well, that's
they're-
what a conspiracy theory is.
Yeah,
Right? It's
I
evidence
know.
that works together and makes sense.
Yeah.
But the truth is not
Apparent.
Right.
apparent.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just kind of funny to me. But anyway.
I think aliens are real because the government has released, like, videos of basically, what are they called?
UAPs, unidentified aerial
UFOs.
phenomenon.
UFOs. What's that?
Okay, Siri listens to conversations, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I put in government confirm, and it comes up with UFO disclosure.
That's very odd.
As like the suggested website. But so what I'm trying to look up, I don't think it's this site. I heard maybe 2 weeks ago. Forget from
It was recent.
Is it
right?
about the COVID relief plan and their release of UFO stuff?
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I guess it was when they signed the COVID Relief Act back in like November?
Yeah. That they put in like you have to release anything you have.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about is like 2 weeks ago they actually did it.
What did they do?
Released all the stuff that like they're like aliens are real. Here's all the evidence.
Are you serious?
That's what I heard. I can't find it.
Okay. So that's...
But I haven't really looked
Quick to
super
Google.
difficult.
That would be very
Difficult,
interesting.
super hard. Oh yeah, 4/28/2020, the Pentagon released UFO videos. Don't hold your breath. Okay. Don't hold your breath for breakthrough. So I guess he just released like crappy looking videos again.
And just some dumb stuff.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean,
Pentagon confirms that leaked videos are legitimate. But that doesn't mean that it is aliens. Like, it's just so that must have been what it was this Pentagon release of really low quality video.
That's unfortunate.
former director of national intelligence says upcoming Pentagon UFO report reveals technology, quote, we don't have. What does that mean?
What date was that published?
March 24th.
Okay, so now, James, you're looking at the update.
This was around the same time. This was actually April 28th.
Wow.
2020. Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, but here's another one
interesting.
from
2021.
So he says,
April 15th, 2021.
so this guy was former director of national intelligence, John Ratcliffe. So this guy, former director of national intelligence, is like, wait, is that what it? Yes, director of national intelligence. He says, movements, okay. When we talk about sightings, we are talking about objects that have been seen by Navy or Air Force pilots.
Correct.
Or have been picked up by satellite imagery that frankly engage in actions that are difficult to explain.
That's awesome.
Movements that are hard to replicate that we don't have the technology for, or traveling at speeds that exceed the sound barrier without a sonic boom. Okay, if you're just a person, right? And I'm assuming a lot of these people listening are just people, and you're just taking this at face value. What do you think that means? Either two things. Another country has technology that we don't have, or aliens. There's nothing else on the earth that does that.
And these sightings have been around since the 40s. So if another country has had technology for that long, why haven't they used it yet?
Well, just because the sightings have been around since the 40s doesn't mean they've actually been seeing it since the 40s. It's just sightings have happened since the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And
Or have been reported.
The sightings of the New Jersey Devil have happened throughout history.
I see your point.
Doesn't mean that anybody's actually seen it.
But aren't sightings seeing it? That's why it's called sightings?
Yeah, what I'm referring
Is like military.
is, no, what I mean by sighting is somebody saying they saw it.
Oh, okay. I see, because there are a lot of stories from the 40s of people with UFO encounters, but they're like, I didn't tell anyone, like I was terrified. I was like, people would think I'm crazy. Yeah.
Intelligence agencies will declassify findings about unidentified aerial phenomenon in June.
Let's
To
go.
Congress.
Okay.
Not to the public, but to Congress, who
Okay.
will then maybe decide whether or not it gets released.
I'm telling you, by the end of the year, I think we're going to get a confirmed statement that they're like, aliens are here and we're trying to understand them.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get it. And that's kind of scary. But
It's
cool at the same time.
Kind of scary.
It's
I wonder if they're going to say how... I mean, there's just so many questions. I think everyone would be really fixated on it. It would definitely shake the moral ground of, like...
Religion.
Religion.
Yeah,
Most
that would be...
religions,
I wonder how people are going to handle that. I had one of my more religious friends told me he said that if aliens were confirmed, he would have a very hard time still believing in his faith. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And so I wonder what that's going to do to some people.
But I guess
I think-
belief is important in that too. Like, you have to believe the people that are saying, hey, aliens are real.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that
There are going to be a lot of
religions are
people who
going to
won't believe
definitely
that.
get defensive about the
Yes.
idea of aliens being real and
I
probably
definitely
just
agree.
deny it in the end. But I think it's important to say, if that's a pivotal moment for you, consider all the probabilities and be comfortable with, I don't know. I mean, I was religious once too. My mom's like, oh, go be a priest. What? Like,
What?
yeah. Oh, yeah. She was like, you would be a great priest. And like, I was not really down for being a priest. But like, when you're young and you're curious about religion, you're like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I would be closer to my God. Whatever.
So
Then you hit puberty. Like, well, different sort of determination there.
You have a few existential crises, and you come out the other side.
I'll give priests. Well, there's a lot of scandal with that.
I kind of want to read this thing here.
Yeah.
This is
I was gonna say that they weren't sexually active, but that's not entirely the case whatsoever.
Unfortunately,
I'm going to shift back to mythological creatures instead of priests.
priests are mythological creatures.
Oh, okay.
They don't actually exist.
It's a concept.
This piece of text here was just really interesting to me. Creatures such as the unicorn were claimed in accounts of natural history by various scholars of antiquity. Some legendary creatures have their origin in traditional mythology and were believed to be real creatures, for example, dragons, griffins, and unicorns. Others were based on real encounters, originating in garbled accounts of travelers' tales, such as the vegetable lamb of Tartary, which supposedly grew tethered to the earth. It's strange, but we don't really think about how, what if some of these mythological creatures, not all of them, but some of them, just something that's like not too crazy and out of the ordinary, was real because he was just a freak of evolution.
Well, the unicorn is like Scotland's national animal, or some shit like that.
It makes you wonder if they were just really rare and they died off.
Yeah, where they still live in, what's that city in Black Panther?
Oh, Wakanda.
Yeah,
Oh
Wakanda.
my gosh, James.
They just live there.
Yeah.
Could be that.
Dragons, though, I think more likely somebody saw like dinosaur bones and they were like, wow, this creature was huge. It must have been a dragon.
Well, I'm starting to wonder if some dinosaurs never fully died off, which would make sense, and some turned into birds, and you start to wonder if, like, the alligator is technically like a dinosaur, not really, but it's around
Right.
from around the same time.
It hasn't changed
Well, it's kind
Yeah.
of
too much.
So what if dragons were kind of real, but not in like the crazy mythological sense, but more just like huge
there's-
lizards?
Komodo dragons.
Yeah, exactly.
Dragons
that's true.
exist.
Yeah.
There you go.
And they were killed off,
like
especially
a
in like
flying dragon that I don't know if they would breathe fire.
That seems,
because you wonder if
pretty-
there were like 15 left in Europe, and all those tales of them slaying dragons were like them just actually killing the last 15 dragons that just ever existed. Like
You would
I'm
think
not
there'd be
saying
like
it's true.
bones or
Yeah.
scales or
Yeah, exactly. Or
something
some kind
that
of
would
relic.
kind of
Yeah, back that
exist
up.
to reference from. It's, I mean, history does or time erase history. I
yeah,
should say.
erosion
Like,
and all that stuff.
I
and
mean,
just
But
everything,
remains
movements,
generally, like bones last a pretty long time.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
So, and you
Yeah.
would think that stuff would have been kept as trophies and things like that, but also who knows what happened? Like I'm not saying that medieval people were killing off dragons, but
It kind
it's
of
cool-
makes
it's
you
fun to
wonder. I mean,
speculate.
like, what about Bigfoot?
Yeah, I know, and I've been thinking about that, and that's just really weird.
You'd think there'd be more.
But again, it starts to make you wonder if there
You know what I
really
mean?
are these
Yeah.
creatures that there's
Like, why would there just be one Bigfoot in a giant forest?
what if there's only like 5? Like I'm not saying again,
I feel like
what
if there were more than one, it'd be much easier to find one.
yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Even if there was one, somebody would find it.
Mm-hmm.
There's enough people out there that hunt for Bigfoot as like a job that
Yeah, that's so strange.
somebody should have come across it with tangible evidence.
Yeah.
It's the same with the werewolf too.
Yeah, the werewolf though is a little like too mythical for me to get behind.
Me too.
You know,
Yeah.
like things like Bigfoot aren't insane to me, but I'm like, I could believe that something like Bigfoot existed at one time, but I don't think that Bigfoot's still around. Like I don't even want to say Bigfoot ever actually existed.
I guess
you
I
know?
could also be underestimating the actual size of some of these like forests and lands that I mean like
Yeah, that's
you
very
think
true.
about like the state of Alaska and just how giant it is.
Yeah, and if there's like one Yeti, like is anyone ever even gonna see it? It's so weird.
Yeah.
You would
know?
think though eventually it would wander into a human settlement,
You would
especially
think.
because
Like how smart
these,
are they?
these woods are very large, but they're also populated. Still.
Like, everywhere,
people have
in a way.
cabins out there, and
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
not everywhere, but yeah,
Yeah.
enough that there are enough checkpoints of civilization. Yeah,
and also at one point in time there was much more nature. There wasn't as much human encroachment.
yeah,
So maybe at one point in time these things could have existed, but who's to say?
yeah.
Sort of
Yeah.
like the Minotaur. Like
Yeah.
that's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I like he
Minotaur.
what like human with an
Yeah.
ox head? Is that what it is? Or is it like a
it's-
bullhead or whatever you want to
Or
call it?
centaur.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, centaur is like the horse thing.
The horse, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of these things are literary devices that come from
Yeah.
Yeah.
fiction.
Stories.
Right.
Fiction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Bible,
Or the
Like what?
like the Bible.
the
Because the
Leviathan.
Leviathan and the Behemoth. These are they were metaphoric devices for. But
Telling
people
a
thought they were
teaching
real.
a lesson, telling a story. Yeah.
But people believed it.
Yeah.
And it was also trying to come across as nonfiction.
Right. But then it makes
Yeah.
you wonder how many stories, like with these mythological creatures in them, were trying to be legitimate accounts, but people took them as stories. For example, the unicorn, again, not saying it's real, but like, whoa, that's kind of
Oh,
what?
Israeli troops have entered the Gaza.
Oh,
whoa,
really?
Wait, hold up. Is this like a live update?
Live update. Well, it's going to be out a month later, so you know if
Yeah, well,
the
you'll-
world
you'll-
is falling into chaos. Well, we heard it here first.
That was 8 hours ago. Oh, they gathered 8 hours ago, but they've actually
Israeli
entered-
Israelis have
scattered.
entered the Gaza Strip as conflict with Palestinians escalates. Oh,
That's pretty terrifying.
yep. Okay.
This is welcome to Palestine.com. But yeah, 14 minutes ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ground operation in Gaza.
Well, best of luck to everyone in that area.
Wall Street Journal.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's very scary.
It's something that should have been addressed, but it's been kind of politically pushed off for, well, I wouldn't even say like pushed off, but basically the United States has backed Israel, but a lot of people I think disagree at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's just hope everything doesn't go crazy.
Okay.
You know,
Well, yeah.
best of luck.
So back to mythological creatures.
Yeah.
You know the Leviathan and the Behemoth is supposed to be served up to the righteous in the end times.
How are they prepared?
Beats me.
What is the behemoth?
It is the land version of the Leviathan, essentially. So they both come from Judaism. Same with Ziz, who is the sky creature. So you have one in the ocean, one on land, and one in the sky.
That's insane.
And what do they do?
Eat people and things. The Leviathan supposedly eats one whale a day. Almost ate the whale that Jonah was in.
It's pretty crazy. Like,
But then
that's really
didn't.
cool.
Leviathan also heats up the waters, boils water,
Oh,
like the oceans. So it supposedly lives in the Mediterranean,
Are there any...
and its mouth reaches to the Indian Ocean, something like that.
oh, so it's
really weird.
massive.
Yeah,
Jeez.
massive
This
creature
is why it's called the Leviathan,
that
right?
breathes fire and boils the oceans.
Do we have any like, because I remember seeing the Leviathan in, oh, jeez.
Atlantis.
Yeah, Journey to Atlantis or whatever. But it looked more like a lobster in that.
It
And,
was
like,
kind of faked.
yeah, it was like, it wasn't, I don't think it was really
Not
supposed to be
fake,
the
but, like,
Leviathan, but it's like,
It's just called that.
what would that thing even look like? Are there any like artist renditions? But
Mhm.
like there probably
Yeah.
aren't. It's probably not even very accurately described enough to like come up with a picture, is it?
I mean, sort of. This is Hobbes' book, of course.
It's really funny.
Well, I mean, I kind of imagine like a serpent.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's your stereotypical sea creature, your
Right.
sea monster.
Dragon head.
Yeah.
Probably like dragon head tentacles or something
Yeah.
silly. You know,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Not
yeah. It's
tentacles,
kind of a
one eye for no reason.
dragon.
one eye. It's because
dragon
it's a
thing?
side view.
No, wasn't even looking at that picture. I was just making a joke. But
Interesting.
So this is actually all three here. This is the Leviathan, just looks like a fish.
Scary
This is
fish.
the behemoth, which
just
looks like a bull.
a bull.
And then there's a griffin. And
Interesting.
that is Ziz.
The griffin in mythology is odd to me because it's like a bird, horse, tiger thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's its own unique little thing.
Yeah, that's another creature that I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't. I
Oh,
wouldn't
there he is.
border on realism. Is that
Look at the
Jonah-
whale
is that
face.
Jonah in the whale.
Yeah.
He's
Just reading a book.
Just reading a book on a chair,
Yeah.
Just hanging out.
On
chilling.
an X, actually.
Oh, just sitting on an X.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even a chair. Look at that.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What
Ooh.
the heck is that?
Can I explain the history of goblins real quick? This is just a very short blurb. Goblins are pretty
Actually,
cool.
though.
Goblins first appearing in Germanic and British folktales. Goblins vary in abilities, physical appearances, and purposes depending on the story and purpose. Like many other European legends, the origin of the goblin mythology is not exactly clear. However, whether with devious tricks or real harm, they are universally known to be troublemakers and possess qualities of malice and greed. I always think of like orcs and stuff from Lord of the Rings, and then also like goblins from Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Like they're just these grimy, disgusting, feral human sub creatures, and they're kind of primitive and just slimy and gross.
I could see goblins being more like story magic than like actually real.
Oh yeah, same, yeah.
Because
Well-
like it's kind of, to me, it depicts like kind of humans but gross humans.
Remember that
It's
movie,
like,
The
hey, don't be a
Descent?
goblin. Yeah.
Yeah, where she like goes down into the cave. It's like if you just gave those things like sword and shield, it's like goblins.
Falmer.
What about
Falmer, yeah.
what about elves though? I think elves may have existed.
Goblins in my mind
They
have
still
always
do.
been like feral elves,
Yeah.
Interesting.
like in a way,
Okay.
you know.
Why do you think elves exist?
Because there are multiple accounts from different regions of the world of elves.
Okay.
It's like a common story that
Would you throw fairies in there?
probably
Different
not.
kind of thing?
Fairies are more magical. Right? Elves, well, Dungeons and Dragons and other fantasy stories have made elves very magical.
Yeah.
It's not really how they were historically. I mean, to a degree, but it's more about like natural magic, I guess.
Okay, I get what you mean.
Um,
Like potions and I don't
Sure.
know, like
Yeah.
mixtures and
yeah.
stuff like that.
They're said to live
What?
deep into the woods.
What?
Yeah, like so far deep that like almost no one would ever find them because they're just
Right.
like, out in the middle,
And then also like inside of like things.
trees and under the ground and everything.
Wait, what?
What are you reading?
This is from the South China Morning Post.
Of
Interesting.
course.
No doubt, Iceland's elves exist. Anthropologists certain the creatures live alongside regular folk.
No freaking way. That's so funny. Wait,
The
you're not gonna
history
read
of
more on
elves.
that? That's hilarious. Could you?
I'm a
imagine
little
that?
concerned about
Could you imagine if that were true?
Click on the Quora one. I want to see what
or
I want to see what the answer is.
So here I can give a little preface to elves. An elf is a mythological creature that appears to be human in nature, but has magical powers and does not age, or at least ages very slowly. It appears that the elves have their origin in Germanic lore, but they're also commonly found in other European folklore.
Yeah.
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 So, wouldn't that be hilarious if you just have these almost ageless beings walking around?
Yeah. I think also, like Iceland, I think it has its origins in Germanic, but I guess it could have spread.
Oh, they
the
turn
idea of
invisible too?
Yes. Yeah.
What?
What?
Yeah.
What?
What?
Wait, what? Like elves in mythology can just turn
what's
invisible?
that headline? 62% of the nation.
2000 study
Wow.
by the University of Iceland, an estimated 62% of the nation believe in the existence of elves.
Wow.
What?
So Iceland really believes in elves.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
I think that's because that's where all the elves escape to.
Oh my goodness.
There's a lot of nature there, like a room where people just aren't. So it's pretty easy to hide.
Wow. See, this is so creepy, but like you just talk about like living underground and trees and stuff. Can I read this little thing real quick? A Danish story of an elf and his earth wife. This is so trippy. A Danish tale tells of an earthman, an elf, who sought to help a midwife on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, they help.
He took the midwife underground and had her attend to his earthwife during labor. When the child was delivered, the elven husband took the child away, seeking to steal the good fortune of a newlywed couple for the child. While he was gone, the elf wife gave the midwife a warning. She warned the woman against eating any food or taking any drink while she was under the surface of the earth. That's so weird. She told the midwife that she, too, has been a Christian woman before she was invited into the realm of the elves, but had made the mistake of eating their food while she visited. Because she had accepted their hospitality, she was unable to return to her world. When the husband returned, the midwife refused the offers of hospitality. Because of this, she was allowed to return to her home. What the heck? So if you eat the elvish food, you, like, just changes you?
I don't think it changes you. I think you just aren't allowed to leave.
Oh.
At least in Denmark.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
One of us.
Elves are pretty cool. The history of elves, reading about their folklore.
Yeah.
Another cool thing is the changeling.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah. It was mythological, and I don't think that these things ever existed, although who knows.
Maybe it's an explanation for the Mandela effect. Or is it the Mandela effect?
The Mandela effect.
See,
Nelson
his
Mandela.
name
but
after
it
Nelson
actually
Mandela.
is the Mandela effect.
Listen, I 100%
You,
agree that it's
me,
the
and
Mandela.
everyone
The
else.
irony of the Mandela effect is that I thought it was the Mandela effect, but I think that's a poor example because I think everyone just reads it wrong the first time.
I think that's a great example of why it doesn't exist.
Oh, because it's just false memory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I read false memory as you said it.
that's so funny. Like that.
Changelings, though, would steal babies out of homes
Oh.
and replace them with changeling babies. Or also just steal entire people and then replace them with the changeling.
Isn't that great?
So it was sort of a scapegoat for when people were acting weird.
No, I've never seen it, but isn't that one movie like something of the Body Snatchers? Isn't
Protected
that
bodies.
is that what that's about? Like they get replaced
I've
with
never-
like
Um,
replicant
I know
aliens
what
or something like that?
Yeah.
They snatch bodies and kind of like a host parasite sort of thing.
Oh, interesting. Sounds horrifying.
My only thing, I just lost it with the changelings. Dang it.
Dang it, Derek.
Well,
Dang it, Derek.
if you think about it, okay, I remembered it.
Okay.
Like in the past, before technology, before just knowing where people were, if you were out somewhere and someone else went somewhere else without telling you, you quite literally had no clue where they were. And like
That's very
to
true.
this day, you still can like not know where people are. Like
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know
You
where
could
most
try to
people
get in
are.
contact with them, but
Right.
that doesn't necessarily mean
That they'll answer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also the whole track your iPhone. Track your
There's
phone.
that thing. I have a couple friends that have my location. I was against it for a long time. But some people want to know if you're safe, I guess.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Aren't we, it would help a lot if it came down to it. Like if something bad actually happened, you had someone's location, that would work.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not the worst thing, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I have nothing to hide. It's just like, dang, why you gotta know where I'm at?
Yeah. That's why I have an Android.
Your mother's watching you, Derek.
Nah, she doesn't have my location. I don't think she would know how. What else? What other legendary creatures?
Chupacabra.
Chupacabra. I just think chihuahuas.
I mean, does anybody else want to touch on any of these other ones, or should we go into the function of legendary mythological creatures and kind of wrap up?
Yeah. Let's wrap it up. We talked a lot about it.
Yeah. So, like I said before, I think most mythological creatures were used as metaphors in stories.
Yeah.
And that's what the Leviathan is for Thomas Hobbes, right?
Yeah.
That's what, I don't know, changelings are for medieval people trying to get their kids to behave.
Yeah. But
right.
Those Icelandic folk really believe in elves.
They do.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe there's some more fact in some of these tales than we would ever accept or believe.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
It's very hard to say.
Yeah.
I
Next
think
to impossible, actually.
Yeah.
If there is a mythological creature, maybe we don't know or have stories of its existence, but like the ocean is largely unexplored.
Yeah.
And if it's gonna be anywhere, it's probably the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe the Leviathan's just like down deep
That could be
in
real.
an abyss.
And mermaids are just really low.
Loch Ness Monster's real.
And
I feel
Atlantis
like Loch Ness
is real.
Like, somebody would have definitely found Loch Ness.
Yeah.
Because it's
by now.
in the Loch Ness lake.
Yeah,
like,
it's not that big.
It's not like it's in the ocean. It's supposed to be in this lake, which
Right.
Unless it could get out and go to the ocean. But
It just
that
walks,
wouldn't make any
just
sense.
walks away.
Exactly.
flies away.
It flies now too.
It's got wings.
I love the idea. Oh, we didn't talk about the hag, but that's not really a mythological creature.
Well, give me the hag facts real quick.
Well, the hag is what appears in, like, when you have sleep paralysis, for example.
Oh, that's terrifying. Why would you remind me of that? I hate that, and that's happened to me too many times.
That's happened to a lot of people.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I mentioned this book before. The terror that comes in the night. It basically summarizes what sleep paralysis is from a scientific perspective, and then like kind of pieces together the different narratives that cultures have for it. But there are similarities. One being the presence of a black figure, a hag, a witch.
Yeah. I've seen
something on top of
very
you.
wispy, shadowy being.
I've seen
terrifying.
Wisp before. But yeah, it was all I got a decent chance to study some folklore at Cabrini. This professor that I was really close with, Dr. Premiano, I'll say his name. He's published. Dr. Premiano, he had a undergrad from Penn in folklore, a master's from Harvard in folklore, and a dual doctorate, one in folklore.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
So
I didn't even know you could get a doctorate in folklore.
you can.
It's really cool.
So this guy knows his stuff.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. That's so cool.
His office was like something out of like a movie. Like it had all these like artifacts in it.
Like he's
and then,
just
like,
Indiana Jones without you knowing.
Yeah, like he had like these paintings, like a whole crate of paintings from the 1880s, where it's this like Catholic tradition of, especially in Italy, where people would like draw something, so like paint something like a car accident, or not a car accident, but oh my god.
Like a stoning. Somebody getting stoned to death.
No. Just like a terrible injury or someone who's sick or like just something, just like some sort of picture, and then draw either like the Virgin Mary or a saint kind of in the corner, and that would be sort of like an offering to heal whoever.
Interesting.
So he had like a whole Indiana Jones crate of that in the basement, and we were like pulling it out.
It's really
Cool. And he had a voice box because like he had his vocal cords removed, so like he had to hold that thing up to his thing. It was
Did he?
I think I got like put into the Twilight Zone. It was amazing.
Did he get them removed like voluntarily?
No. He had a rare form of cancer, and lost that. Yeah. But he would always make light of it. Like he would be like ha 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 ha, or like something like that.
Like, cause he didn't even have to laugh.
Because he was always laughing, but he would take it away and just kind of like silent laugh.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So cool. He dressed very like quirky and wore cool hats. It was a whole thing. I don't know.
That sounds like a really fun class.
Yeah, but folklore is cool.
Could have talked about the DMT
Machine elves.
Yeah, elves.
Yeah. Well.
Maybe next time.
In DMT.
Yeah, you ever heard of the
see
DMT
what-
machine elves?
No.
Okay, well, we'll go into that in another episode. So maybe look
Well,
forward
you're
to
gonna
that
fill me in the
like,
minute
a
we
year.
stop here.
Well, maybe on our meditation NPMR episode, we'll touch on it.
Yeah.
So watch out for that.
Yeah.
Keep an eyeball out.
Just one.
Just one.
Just
The
one. Like a
reason I asked
cyclops.
about the vocal cords thing, I'm thinking about voluntarily removing my own vocal cords.
I would
So just
advise
was
against it, but
looking
that's just
for a,
because you hate talking.
for
So.
doctor.
You just hate talking.
Oh yeah.
Why are you doing a podcast?
Yeah. Well, because I'm not actually talking to somebody other than you two.
Oh, I
I
see.
don't mind talking to you guys.
Oh,
okay.
thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for
well.
keeping your vocal
Yeah.
cords for us, James. I appreciate
I'm
that.
glad to know you don't mind talking to us. Well, hopefully you don't mind listening. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
It was a fun time.
See you around.
See you in the next dimension.
Watch out for those elves.